Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing Attack on Titan. This is season 2, episode 9. Last time around, we actually got a little bit of a breather with that episode. After a lot of shit just went down. That was nice. I kind of appreciated that. I know to some people out there, it might be an episode that you want to skip when you're watching reactions because not a lot happened. Besides, it was like at the very beginning of that episode, we saw the end to the close combat fight where Eren and Ymir, they got sort of abducted by Reiner and Bertolt. And that's also what I'm really curious about getting back into. Is are we gonna finally get to know some things from or see something from their perspective, where they really come from? They've mentioned, their hometown so many times, and we just wanna know some more. But we also know that this show is not like they're not gonna give you all of it just at once. It's the teeny tiny bits here and there, but just the perfect amount every single time, it seems like. Do you have anything you want to add to it before we start the episode?
I am kind of sick. Don't worry, it's nothing like COVID related or anything. I'm just very sick, so if I'm even more quiet than that I usually am, then it's simply that's the reason why.
Yeah. But before we start, I of course want to tell you that you can always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions at the moment for Attack on Titan where we are about 7 episodes ahead. It's all over on Patreon and the link is down in the description below. And here we go.
Okay.
Right, back into it.
No.
軍隊長、どこ行く気ですか。
例の歩けない巨人を捕獲した村。
その体で馬なんか乗ったらバラ
Oh
バラ
yeah,
になりますよ。
the Connie's
They actually took
何
that
か引っ
time.
かかる。調べる必要が。
I think that's a good hunch right there.
どうぞ気絶でもしててください。展開せよ。索石神経を取る。
It's good having him back. I win.
エレン。
Okay.
Eren. I kind of feel a little bit more at ease with, Erwin, knowing that Erwin is there for some reason.
Yeah. I missed him.
Him and his eyebrows.
Oh, yeah, eyebrows.
おうエレン。起きたか。
なんだ。腕が。見ろよ。私もこの通りだ。お互い今日は辛い日だな。
なんで俺の腕がねえんだ。なんせ急いでいたからな。慌ててうなじに噛みついたらお前の両腕をないがしろにしちまった。
You're right about that. I like that he's apologizing for it, actually.
俺は負けたのか。
Not...
Only because of dirty tricks.
エレンやめろ。
まあ待てよエレン。よく周りを見てみろ。あれも気候種って言うんだろうか。くつろいでいるように見えるが、目だけはしっかりこっちを見てるな。
Scary.
見てるだけで近づいてこない。
Huh.
繊細なんだろうな、きっと。せこい奴らめ。二人だけ立体起動装置をつけてやがる。この巨人の領域内を生き抜くのは、巨人の力を持っていても困難だ。暴れてる余裕はないんだって。
It's a good thing Ymir is there.
体力は限られている。今はお前らの体を修復するので手一杯のようだ。バカか。誰がてめえの言葉なんか信用するか。
Good question.
あんたたちはこれから私らをどうするつもりなんだ。
Yeah.
俺たちの故郷に来てもらう。
Alright.
こんなところに立ち寄った理由は何だ。疲れたから休憩してんのか。
お前の想像に任せる。
Not gonna answer that.
あの城の巨人は夜なのに平気で動いてたぞ。ここの巨人はどうだ。
ここの巨人は夜には動けない。そんなことお前なら分かってるんだろう、ユミル。
I had a question about that as well. I just...
味方なのか。こいつの目的もよくわからない。もともとよくわからないやつではあった できるだけこいつらから情報を引き出してこの状況を切り抜ける。
Be patient.
そのためにも今は感情を噛み殺せ。体を修復しろ。
Suppressing his emotions and his anger. That might be yeah. And Rainer and Bertolt, they got the maneuver gear. Rainer took it from Eren, as Eren said, but where did Bertolt get it from? Must be that other person that he ate besides Ymir.
Oh, that might be it, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't anyone significant then, I guess.
あいつは絶対諦めねえ。だから俺たちは焦らず、その代わり絶対に行くんだよ。あの時みたいにな。
Unfortunately, I think you're right about Hannes.
Yep.
He's gonna end up sacrificing himself. I'm glad he's there though, you know, for Mikasa, Armin, and eventually Eren.
まあ幸い壁は壊されてなかったんだから。
Fortunately.
ひとまずは休ませてもらいてえもんだ。昇格の話はその後でいい。
From what?
ライナ、別に今すぐ隊長に昇格させろなんて言ってないだろ。ああ、そういや。お前らあの大砲どっから持ってきたんだよ。あの時は本当に助かったぜ。
Is he alright?
そんでもってその後のクリスタなんだが、ありゃどう見ても俺に気があるよな。実はクリスタはいつも俺に対して特別な。
The fuck?
何怒ってんだよエレン。俺が何かまずいこと言ったか。殺されてんなら普通にそう言え。
待てよエレン。
Suppress your anger, Eren.
君は兵士じゃないだろう。僕らは戦士なんだから。
Is it like a trigger word?
何を。おい、マルコが食われてる。
Huh?
But Marco was not eaten.
壁を破壊した奴が命がけでコニーを助けたりなんてな。自分が矛盾したことやってんのに無自覚だったんだよ。本来は壁の破壊を目的とする戦士だったが、兵士を演じて生活するうちにどちらが本来の自分かわからなくなった。
Wow.
無意識に自分は壁を守る兵士の一人だと逃避し、そう思い込むようになったん
He
だ。
really is conflicted as
その
fuck.
結果、心が分裂し、記憶の改ざん。お前の実直すぎる性格じゃそうなってる。
黙れ。口を閉じろ。
悪かったよ。詮索が過ぎたな。
That's a weak point right there, at least.
俺は話したよな。お前らの目の前で俺の母さんが食われた時の話を。お前が蹴り破った扉の破片が俺の家に直撃したから母さんは逃げらんなかったんだって。どう思った？あの時どう思ったんだ？
Still feels so fucking betrayed.
With good reason.
気の毒だと
思ったよ。お前らな。お前らは兵士でも戦士でもねえよ。何の罪もない人たちを大勢殺した大量殺人鬼だ。
んなことを分かってんだよ。お前にわざわざ教えてもらわなくてもな。
この世界を地獄に変えたのはお前らなんだぞ。分かってんのか人殺しが。
泣きわめいて気が済むならそのままわめき続けてろ。
Yeah, you're not the only one who can scream your head off, Eren.
俺は頑張るしかねえ。お前らができるだけ苦しんで死ぬように
Oh, okay.
努力するよ。
Fucking full on revenge.
なあ、ライナー。
Hmm.
あの猿は何だ？
Ask about the monkey.
知らなかったのか？その割にはあの時のお前ら二人してガキみてえに目を輝かせて見てたよな。目的は威力偵察ってところかな。そいつを目指せばお前らの故郷に帰れるんだろ。
Oh.
何を知ってる？知ってること全部話せ。
Fucking calm down.
エレン、あの二人をやっつけて終わりだと思ってんのなら。
敵は何だ？
そりゃ言っちまえば
ユミル、お前はこの世界に先があると思うのか。お前次第ではこっち側に来ることも考えられるだろう。
Oh.
お前の目的はクリスタを守ることだろう。冗談言ってるように見えるかもしれんが、クリスタだけは何とかしたいという思いを俺たちが受け入れられないと思うか。
Oh? Hmm.
お前はエレンを利用してここから逃れることを考えてたようだな。
I have a lot to say in the discussion.
自分のわずかな命かクリスタの未来か選ぶのはお前だ。
この世界に先がないってなんだ。猿ってなんだ。
Eren is just so fucking confused.
さあな。
決まりだ。残念だったなエレン。
Damn it. Oh. They are getting
調査兵
close.
団がもうチキショユミルのやつここへ来て
Oh
あ
shit.
と1時間もすれば日没だ。
And
Mm.
what? Oh, fucking. Of course. Okay. Heavy episode. It's just a lot of talking. Pure talking. Really gonna not like editing this because it's very, very difficult to edit like in the all talk
Yeah.
episode and not get any copyright claims and shit. But what are you gonna do? Well, that was season 2, episode 9. We certainly we got some information, but it was also very difficult to really put that information into context and really make heads or tails of it. And we were mostly like Eren in that situation, just being full on confused and having a lot of questions. We're not yelling though. He did not do a good job of containing his emotions and his anger. But that is also very, very understandable given the whole situation, what happened, who he's talking to, what it's all about, and even bringing up that conversation in the past when there were recruits talking to Bertolt about what happened to Eren's mom and what was why all that ultimately why that happened was because of Bertolt. It's difficult. It's really, really difficult to deal with. But someone who's also having difficulties dealing with all this is Rainer, apparently. He's really not good in mentally wise with this. And we've also talked about that. The fact that he must be conflicted as all hell. Both of them must be really conflicted. It seems like Rainer is the most... he's the one who's affected by that the most, and kind of split between two people. And yeah, I guess you're the one who can speak to the capacities of the human brain and mentally what can happen to someone when they are in a situation like that. Because Ymir talked about, or her theory was that his brain has just not himself, his brain, he wasn't able to handle this situation and being split between his duties as a warrior and then his fake duties or his duties as a soldier, the role that he was playing, and to commit to that. It's kind of mentally closing off the other side of him. And now those two sides are just colliding, and he can't. Yeah, that, and then something like him when he just started talking, and we all just went, "What the hell are you talking about?" Something like that happens. Is that a realistic take on it? Could that really happen?
I have very hard time putting his symptoms into a specific disorder, but I definitely know that it is possible to completely have these switches between.
It's not that I was looking for a specific disorder for him or anything like that. It's just, is that a normal occurrence that can happen to anyone if they are in a situation like that? Was more is that realistic that the brain can do that? What was more of a question?
Yeah,
that
okay.
I was asking.
Well, the brain is definitely capable of doing things. You can also get sudden onset psychosis, even though you're 50 years old and have never had any sort of
history or...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
but it has to do with there's receptors in the brain that are basically set on fire, and that's that can get you these psychotic events.
Okay.
So it's the same if you get some sort of some types of psychedelics. You can also develop some psychotic events. So that's also one of the reasons why I would never just say to people that they should just use psychedelics without anyone
like any supervision or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Any like therapy.
Because you never know what will like trigger something inside of there.
Yeah, exactly. And we all of us are dealing with a lot of baggage, and especially I would say Rainer is dealing with a whole lot of stuff here. So for him to, and I think it's like, of course it's a defense mechanism that he kind of like split himself up. And I know this is a weird example, like really weird example, but Voldemort, he's having this thing where he kind of
you must not be named. What are you doing?
I'm doing it anyway. But yeah, he's basically splitting up his soul into 7 parts. And I think maybe, and I think, well, it's of course a way to sort of like, it's some sort of like defense mechanism that he's also doing, because then he can't really be killed unless you kill all 7 pieces of him. So it is kind of like a preventive thing to do. But so this is more, of course, this is not as the same thing, but I think that the whole thing with where you basically split up your own person or your own soul.
Yeah, to both like save yourself in a way, or like save your own like mental state.
Well, as Bertolt said, like balance his mental state. Like yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it certainly makes sense that Rainer is acting the way that he is, and we already talked about him being conflicted several times. So it was just interesting to see how he just at that time there, like even with everything that just happened, that he could still snap back into, okay, this is the soldier Rainer version who is still with the scouts, and started talking about promotions and started talking about where did you guys get the cannon, all of that stuff, and like talking to them like they were just his friends again. And with Krista, like, oh, I think she has a crush on me. And yeah, really get why Eren just stood up and like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? We just fought. How are you even... Yeah. How are you connecting those dots even? What is happening with you?
But it was also a bit like, if you've heard about all these like actors and actresses that have been so much into like method acting. Yeah. Where like they're basically that person for a long time. When they're shooting the video or the movie or whatever. But then they have a very hard time of snapping out of it again.
Yeah.
I think, was it Daniel Day-Lewis, that one of his roles he had to, like, for 3 months after that or something, he had to basically just, like, detach himself from the role completely, because it was just, it took over, like, his whole...
I can imagine, especially with someone like him. He's certainly been doing the method acting thing and really getting into the roles, and especially for something like Lincoln. And that's actually a pretty good comparison, or a good way to kind of understand that feeling, I guess, is you've just been living as someone else or playing a role for so long, and doing it to an extent where you are like living and breathing as this other person, as this other character, which is what Rainer has been doing. So like you mentioned before, just with synapses on fire, it looked like something was on fire inside of his head at one point, because he's just like, oh my fucking god, like can't figure this stuff out right now. But then he sort of snapped back into it, and then they kept talking, and we just got little tidbits here and there about, okay, so and it's a really good thing that Ymir is there. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten anything out of them, because he was actually able to talk to them and ask them questions and not just yell at them aggressively, which is what Eren did. But she could get something out of them, and she sort of did, to me at least. Like the whole thing with the monkey, the Beast Titan, they're trying to get to him so that they can get back home, and the way that Ymir interpreted like their reaction to the monkey when they were seeing him up on the tower, I interpreted that as like straight up fear, as in, oh shit, they don't like. But when we saw it, at that point, I interpreted it as fear, or like, holy shit, what the hell is that thing? Like they didn't even know what the monkey was. But the way that she interpreted it was they are in awe. Like, oh wow, what are you doing here? Like they know this being,
Or
and
at
they
least,
look up to this being, or
yeah, there was definitely some sort of, as I think she called them starry-eyed or something,
yeah,
and that's
like,
usually
starstruck or starry-eyed children was. I
yeah,
think
and
that was what
that's
she said.
usually what you use about someone who's like in awe of something.
Yeah, and they see like a big celebrity or something, I guess, and that's so that was the reaction that they had, because it seemed like she hit the head on the nail there when she was talking to them, just based on their reaction in this episode to it. But they were also glad that no, wait, that was when he was in soldier mode. Sorry, yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah.
It's confusing.
Oh yeah, it's like the whole episode, that whole talk really is just don't look away from the screen. Don't think of something else just for a split second, and you might miss whatever is going on. It was really a confusing talk for us here sitting on the sidelines at least, and for Eren as well.
Yeah, I know nothing.
Yeah,
I got nothing out of this.
we know that they still they wanna take them back to their hometown. So okay, yeah, but that was a sort of a given anyway. That okay, that's probably the direction that they're going in. And I also like the whole okay, should we turn into Titans now or not? Talk, and with Ymir again, really good thing that she's there telling Eren that probably not the best idea right now.
She's really good at analyzing her surroundings.
Really
Insanely good.
Yeah, I think that also comes from her past, and just from what we know about her past is that at one point she was definitely alone, going around living as a sort of a thief and borrowing things, and that will, I believe, make you very aware of your surroundings and the people, and make you very wary of people as well, and analyze every little detail in any given situation. And so yeah, really good thing that she can do that now as well, and tell Eren this is the wrong time to turn into a fucking Titan. We cannot do anything right now. We need to be fucking patient, or at least like we're gonna wait until nightfall. And I guess that's possibly what we're getting into in this next episode, because they're almost there, the scouts. There's an hour to fucking sunsets, and then what's gonna happen?
Yeah. But there was something up with those aberrants or abnormal Titans that were lying around, because they weren't really like, they were just watching. They weren't like the smaller ones. The smaller ones were just like kind of grabbing at them. But the two others were kind of watching them. And there's something up with those.
They're very unnerving, but I guess that's why they are
No,
aberrants or abnormal. Is their abnormal behavior is like you can't really predict why the fuck they're doing what they're doing.
No, but I think there's a reason why they're only watching, and they're not like, because if they're aberrants, they could just jump up and eat them, basically, right?
Yeah, so, but I don't think that means that they're just more aggressive.
No. I just mean like, I think they're more sentient than we give them credit for, and there's a reason why they. You remember my theory about like they can be controlled in a way, maybe, from far or something. Well, I think maybe they. I just think there's something up with them.
Yeah,
more than just being like.
Yeah, and we agree on at least one being that we know of right now that seems like they can control the Titans is the monkey.
The monkey.
And there was also kind of a visual representation of that when they were talking about the monkey, and we saw this image of it like looming in the background, and then a lot of Titans just running towards the screen. To me, that just like it's kind of like a general of an army. Yeah,
and they almost confirmed that, or maybe they didn't confirm that it was the monkey that turned the other like people into Titans, but we did get confirmed that the Titans were turned inside the walls.
Yes, from inside the walls, exactly. And that's what Reiner said when he was doing his whole like back and forth there, and he thought for a moment that he was still a soldier. And yeah.
Ymir was almost spilling all the beans until they got her turned around.
Until Rainer started talking about Krista.
Yep.
And the fact that, okay, yes, we can agree on something. We can learn to trust each other because we have a common goal. You don't want anything to happen to Krista. We don't want anything to happen to Krista. Is it just because, it can't just be because that he has a crush on her.
I think she's important.
Something way more important about her. I think it must be related to the fact that she's part of that royal family.
Maybe, yeah.
That's at least my guess right now. That's the only thing we know about her. And is that one way to kind of like, do they want to sort of install her as or they want to use her claim for
maybe, yeah,
the throne there? But then why did he say like, is this whole like world is kind of doomed anyway? Sort of like, why does that come into play? So why have any plans with installing anyone as head of anything if the world is kind of fucked? Yeah, that's why we have some questions, at least. Do you think the monkey is like controlling the Aberrans or the abnormal titans like right now? Like the ones that are just waiting and is kind of...
I don't know if it's in control of it, but I just feel like there's something up with them. Like there's a reason why they're just... One of them was kind of like in the shadow, just lurking, right?
The one that Ymir called a scaredy cat.
Yeah, and the other one was just lying on the ground, just...
staring.
Chilling and staring, yeah. So I think... I don't know if they're basically small, like, cameras or something. No, that's silly.
Surveillance. No.
Yeah, that's silly. But I think there's definitely something up with them. Like they are there for a reason, and the reason why they pointed out to us is because it's gonna come into play. Yeah, at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that they are there. Oh, and we agree on the fact also that Titans usually they can't move at night because they need the sunlight. They need that energy to do anything. But the reason why they were able to move at Utgard Castle was because of the monkey being there, sending them or turning them all into abnormals or barons. Like there was something special about the Titans there. But that was also something that they started talking about and then kind of hush-hush, right?
I understood nothing of it.
Great. We're going to have to rewatch this episode then at one point, I guess, even though we're going to... like in real time now, jump into episode 10. We're also supposed to be confused at this point.
Of course.
We're not supposed to just understand everything that's going on just from this one episode, even though there was a lot of talking. Speaking of a lot of talking, we've been doing that as well. Do you have anything else you want to add to it? No. All right. That's going to do it for this reaction and review of Attack on Titan Season 2, Episode 9. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.